Upcoming spoilers for Commander Masters are more than just a peek behind the curtain. They're a message, not just to the players, but to other companies. Sometimes when you're trying to get your point across, you're going to be subtle about it, gentle, hoping the person on the other end understands your meaning. And sometimes you are going to hammer it home like driving a nail, and you're going to get your point across. Welcome back, everyone. MTG Moxman here. Thanks again for hanging out with me on my channel today. Last week, Wizards of the Coast gave us some spoilers for Commander Masters. It had multiple effects that are rippling out through the system when they shared those Commander deck spoiler cards. Sales went through the roof. I got my final numbers in yesterday from all the stores who didn't get back to me. Most of them are now completely sold out, waiting on further allocation numbers so they can decide to open some more up at a higher price point or sit back and hold them for singles. But either way, the point went home to players that those decks are going to be amazing. You are going to want to get them, and even at a higher price point, we want to let you know that we think you're going to enjoy this product. Not only that, they have Lord of the Rings coming out. And it's kind of taken a back burner. We've seen just a few cards, and they seem to be letting that one just kind of simmer. Just simmer on the side. They are giving you a hint of what's behind the curtain. Just to show the point. Take a look what it means to say behind the curtain. I use this as a joke all the time, but behind the curtain actually means the secret people who really control the situations. People from the shadows who are in charge. What a kind of ominous kind of feeling. I use it as a joke when I say stuff like in The Wizard of Oz, you know, the man behind the curtain, the wizard's there and he's doing all kinds of crazy stuff to be the great and powerful Oz. But in this case, it can actually mean literally. There is nothing stopping Wizards of the Coast from printing and doing what they want to do. And they're really proving the point by putting a product like this out. We've seen it in the past. If you go back to Throne of Eldraine, that set was an amazing, nostalgic set people are going to remember for a long time. Back in 2018, almost 5 years ago now. But when you look at that set, the cards like Oko, Once Upon a Time, Kenrith, all these amazing cards that fit together. Remember Garrick? Guys, this really got things going. Even though those cards got banned later on, Wizards was able to capitalize when they need to by creating very powerful, enjoyable cards for the players to get into. And it's not only the cards that players enjoy that they have control over. Picture them as the great and powerful Oz, standing behind the curtain that nobody really gets to look behind very often. They can create new and powerful cards. They can create reprints, new products entirely out of thin air. They can control pricing by going up or down as they see fit. Right now, they've only ever chosen to go up, but nothing stops that company from lowering a price if they choose to do so or if they have to do it. We'll get to that a little bit later. When you also look at this, they can change the product lineup. Look at how they've changed fat packs to bundle packs, from 8 boosters to 5 boosters, 10 boosters. They can switch it up from regular draft to set boosters, adding collector boosters. Whatever it takes, they can do, because they control every lever on that machine. They don't control us, the participants, but they control how it looks. The optics of what goes on in the world around them, they have full control over. It's a very interesting kind of thing to look at because it plays into the second part of this when you look behind the curtain. Those Commander decks are already hitting a home run. We know that. They're just knocking it out of the park. People have been talking about it day in, day out, and everything I'm reading, it's coming up like, this is going to be awesome. There are a few skeptics who are saying, I need to see the rest of the cards. But some of those skeptics said, I would never even buy this product. The fact that Wizards gets you to turn your head and look that way a little bit at those cards, very interesting. Now, let me bring up the second part here. When you have to drive the hammer home. I talked a little about this on my live stream on the weekend, and that is the fact Wizards is the standard. Gold standard, platinum standard, first out the gate, however you want to say it. They're the ones who have been here for 30 years. And every other TCG style game like this that's gone up against them in the past have all died out or been squashed. As far as I can recall, nothing has stuck around long enough to truly compete with a company like this. And even if you could compete at the same level, you'll probably get squished. It is not a coincidence, I think, that you got sets like Sorcery coming up. We've had Lorcana being announced by Disney, right? That's all coming up in August and stuff. The Kickstarter's off for Sorcery. That Wizards is all of a sudden hammering out these amazing style cards at the same type of time frame. I don't actually believe it's as much of a coincidence as people think. Yeah, it's a little tinfoil hatty, but I kind of think that way. I'm going, well, what a great way to get attention back on your products. And it's not just that. For any of those new companies trying to get off the ground, they have to build a player base, which has never been harder. And that's what I talked about. When we were young kids playing, we didn't have as many video game options and other forms of entertainment like we have nowadays. So trying to get a newer audience attracted to a Disney-style game like that, as well as possibly a Sorcery game, you're attracting an already older audience who's probably disenfranchised and feels left out by what Wizards of the Coast has done in the past. But Wizards has the power to literally squish those companies. They can either buy them out at whim and mothball the company. We've seen that before with other industries. But not only that, they can just undercut them. When you're at the head of the table and you're sitting pretty, they're not going to make the mistakes that BlackBerry and other companies before them have probably made because it's their first billion dollar plan, right? This is their first IP to reach that level. They're going to stay on top. And this could be a very loud message if you look between the lines saying to the other companies, we can outperform you. Everything for us is already in place. If you get in our face too much, we're going to squish you. I know there was talk about the Flesh and Blood tournament. I saw the stuff on Alpha Investment, some of the other videos out there. Interesting stuff. I've played the game myself. But when you're trying to get people to invest in a game and believe it has true value and try to raise those box prices to hundreds of dollars, you are trying to build something that took Magic the Gathering 20 plus years to really get to. And you're only 3 or 4 years in to most of these companies being truly viable. And to go further than that, it's just going to make Wizards of the Coast pay more attention. Remember earlier, I talked about the pricing lever? There's nothing stopping them from dropping the hammer and just undercutting those companies, whether or not they have a good game. To attract new Magic players back to their game, they could bring back amazing reprints. Yeah, right. Or they could just create new cards, new styles that attract those players back to why they left in the first place. Hey, prices haven't gone up. Look at all these new cards and these new sets, new specialty one-off products that are really reasonably priced. When you're at the head of the table and you're looking down on everyone else, it's in your best interest to stay at the head of the table looking down on everyone else. And that is something those other companies are either well aware of and they're hoping they get bought out, or they just don't care and they're going to keep doing what they're doing, hoping they can make a go at it. Either way, eventually those companies could run into a face-to-face confrontation with a juggernaut like that. And I can't wait to see how that would play out. It's interesting. I mean, when I look at that, I look at past games like Overpower, Illuminati. We talked about on the channel even, what's it called, Jihad. Stuff I played as a teenager, but none of those games stood the test of time. And yeah, a few may have fan-made cards and stuff still happening, but nothing has ever counted the same way Magic does as that financial side where the cards are worth thousands and thousands of dollars. They can say they're worth that money, and there may be a small group of people buying into it to build that investment portfolio up to say, these cards are worth something, look at the values. But until you have the history behind those cards, before you have the time and the effort and the nostalgia built into these products, because it is nostalgia that drives the older players forward to wanting to continue. It's never been harder to do that. And that's what most people seem to forget. People ask me, why don't I leave Magic? I'm not leaving Magic to try a new game because my time, my nostalgia is invested in a game I've played since I was a teenager. And that's what they're up against, trying to build a new brand with a new audience of younger players that will grow up into the game. Most of them don't think about it the right way to actually attract younger players that way, or do the right things to get that audience built in. So I think when you get this little peek behind the curtain of what Wizards of the Coast can do to other companies who threaten them, when you look at all the levers and wheels and controls they can put in place, it's truly a David versus Goliath story if they want it to be. These Commander products could be the first of many types of products they bring forward. with newer style cards being brought in if they feel threatened, but also if they want to attract back an audience. Yes, it's at a higher price point, but they know these singles will trickle down. They know there'll be reprints coming eventually, and they know that if they don't get some of these cards into players' hands to attract them back, they may lose more audience members. They're well aware of their player base, of tournament standings, of where players are, and they know, even if they don't want to do it yet, I'm sure a company like this, or at least they should be, well aware of what it will take to slowly win back people. And it isn't going to be some 30th anniversary junk they try again. They're probably going to leave that alone for a very long time. And if they have anybody in PR marketing who's even half decent, they're already preparing for these types of inevitability by talking to the R&D team to get some of these things built into place, to build new Oko-style cards, to keep price points at a certain level, as well as build up what it takes to make the game as successful as it has been in the past. Will they do it? I don't know. I don't have the crystal ball here, but I know that it seems to me this seems to be a message for the players on one hand to say, hey, we're here, look at these awesome cards. Even at a more pricey price point, look at the value we're giving you, look at the fun you're going to have. But at the same time, to other companies out there, we're at the head of the table and we have no intention of losing this seat. Interesting times. Let me know what you guys think. Slam some comments down in the comments section. I think it's a very interesting topic going forward into 2023 and 2024 to see what they really do with upcoming products and IPs in the Universe Legends, as well as the regular formats they'll be giving us in the next year. Guys, thanks a lot for hanging out with me today. Looking forward to entertaining you guys with another video tomorrow. I'll see you guys then. Alright guys, we're here at the end. We've made it this far, and this is the moment of glorification of all the amazing patrons. That's right guys, the patrons support this channel each and every day, which allows for daily uploads and content, so thanks again to those amazing patrons. Number one, let's make sure to put a boomstick in the comments section. If you made it to the end, you got to remember this stuff. You got to get, you're here at the end credits. You're at the Marvel action scene where Iron Man's coming in to save the day, eating a falafel. You're chilling, but you got to put down the right words. You got to put the boomstick in the comment section so I know that you're the one who made it that far in the video. That's how I know. And I respect that each and every day when you guys do it. It's amazing. Yeah, I know. I finished the coffee. No mothy coffee today. Everything's flowing awesomely. But I don't know, man. I think we're going to see some powerful products next year from Wizards of the Coast. I think they know what's happening. I think they're evaluating numbers, and this is just the first phase. I'm not sure how Lord of the Rings will pan out in terms of power level, but I'm telling you, there'll be some very unique cards, of course. And Wizards probably won't do price increases for a while, but what they will do is sort out the product lineup and put a few more powerful cards into things like Standard. They're going to slowly twist things around a bit to draw flavor there, I think. We'll see, though. It's the tinfoil hat theory here at the end of the video when we're watching the end credits scene. I can't help myself. Thanks a lot for tuning in, guys. Thanks for being here. You're awesome. You know it's true, and I'll look forward to seeing you guys later because I'm going to, go make dinner, walk the dog. I'm not mowing the lawn today. No. I don't care. No.